The first thing I want to talk about is there's only three ways to get leads. I think there's so much information out there that people overcomplicate it. This isn't no like AI, newest AI offer. There's only three ways to get leads: outreach, and right now DMs is hot, content slash social media, and then paid advertising. I should just put paid advertising. Okay, these are the test of time. This has always worked. This is continuously working, and it's going to continue to do this for the future. Three ways to get leads, because a lot of people, I think it's a matter of the reason why people are like begging on the sales calls, or they're scared in their business or their sphere, is because there's really a lack of people you're talking to, a lack of leads. And when you can get really, really good at just generating conversations, I mean, if you guys can only see my DMs from just one post I did last week, and a whole bunch of people started DMing me on Facebook from just one post, and I'm gonna show you guys that post. And literally, I'm just like getting all these people, got a lot of people down in the pipeline, and it's like if we could do that multiple times a week, or at least once a week, and generate as many conversations, yo, you're gonna be eating good every week, okay, every month. So it is a lack of leads that allows us to go in this lack mentality, right? Because we feel like we're begging the people that we got their attention from, and now we're constantly chasing and following up with like one or two people when you just need to generate fresh leads. So the three ways to do that, and I share this chart a few times, quite often, and I'll tell you guys why I'm sharing this chart. Um, Obviously, the lead generation comes from getting attention. Okay, outreach, where you're reaching out to people, you're intentionally getting into people's DMs, or maybe you're crossing paths with them in person. Content slash social media, this builds trust. This is a lot of inbound because they're seeing your stuff. You become top of the mind. And then paid advertising, it's just literally just a fuel to the fire. You're just adding more, you're spending more money just to get more reach. Okay. It's like a quicker build because you're paying for it. You're paying for attention versus the organic, maybe a slow build. Now, I talk about these. You need these two things in your biz. And this is where I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how I leverage the software. But you need marketing assets and sales assets. And I kind of share what marketing assets look like and what sales assets look like. Okay. This is a whole nother teaching or training. Maybe I could do that to break that down. But we've done several different trainings on all these, but just kind of breaking down what you need in your business for scalability and for leverage. Really, y'all, it's a lot about leverage. Like I'm trying to compound my efforts. That's why I like software and systems with my efforts of talking to people in DM. A lot of my energy comes with talking to people in DM. I'll tell you why. It's called conversation or conversion conversations. Most of us think that like an influencer thinks, and I'll reiterate on that. But let me just give you guys the definition. This is the process of having one-on-one conversations with a lead that convinces them to buy when they otherwise wouldn't have. How many of us would it like? I guarantee I've talked to everyone that's here live and everybody that's in our mastermind. I've talked to you in a DM minimum. Some people I've talked on a call because conversion conversations. Okay. I'm not too good to say, oh, I can't get on a one-on-one call. I just believe in the conversations, whether it's DMs or it's like 10-minute calls, 15-minute calls, or maybe whatever kind of call you guys hopped on. But I believe that everybody that's here live, just by looking at everyone that's here, and the people that are probably watching the replay or in my program, you guys have had conversion conversations with me, that one-on-one effect. And I'll tell you why this works. All right. Organically, this is how I thought I got leads. For organic, I thought I'd just post a link and people would just click and I'd be rich and make money. This is literally what we think because every influencer is doing that. What's so funny is we think that the influencers that have a lot of reach, they're actually making a lot of money. But come to find out, a lot of these people that have a lot of reach, they're not really making that much money. So this doesn't even work. For ads, we would send them to a webinar and then they'd all buy. So this is what we initially thought would work. Okay, this is what we thought would be the solution to it. Okay, now this is the framework we thought would work, where we just toss links out there and people would buy. We're in a different type of era today. Okay, where the buyer is a little bit more sophisticated, the buyer is a little bit more wiser, especially in the market that we're in. So what are we trying to get into? Again, conversion conversations. Conversion conversations. So for example, we thought that organic, you post a link and then some people would just magically sign up. That might happen if you have a YouTube channel where they've binge watched a minimum of 5 to 10 hours of your content because you've built trust through the YouTube channel. I've done that. But just by tossing a link as like a content creator, it's not always going to work. For ads, we think we just run ads, we watch training webinars, and then we'd buy. That might have happened before, but we're in a different era today. Okay. Buyers are a little bit more wiser, and people got into these sprees where they buy so many things that none of that stuff worked because they never worked the systems that actually work. Now they need a little bit more trust with what they bought or what they're buying. So how I got clients organically. This is the simple way. Whether it's just going straight to DM to a close, and I've done that. Okay. I have systems where I teach y'all, and I've taught this several times, like my whole ecosystem on like DM closes. Or you get to on a 15-minute call. In this season of my life, what I'm doing now is people, leads that are interested, I just get on a quick 10, 15-minute call with them. Hey, are you free right now? Boom, let's chat while they're hot, see where they're at, and then we'll close them. Sometimes you get on a 15-minute call just to understand where they're at, not feel like you're trying to sell them on that initial call, especially depending on where they're at. Like, do they know much about you? Have they been watching your content a lot? Do you guys barely know each other? So it depends where they're at. Then you tee them up to get into I call it, it's a sales call, but I usually call it a concierge call, or oh man, there's a word I use, but it's just a call just to like just break it down, just to make sure that they're the right fit, and then we close them. Very, very simple. People want conversations nowadays. Okay, they want conversations. So let's keep going. I have this document on messenger conversations. If you guys, obviously, I did a whole class on this, but it's very, very simple. I'll just kind of break this down. So if you guys are like, I don't know how to DM people, I don't know how to talk to people when I'm reaching out, there's several ways, but really it's very simple. It's an opening, okay? Opening, asking the right questions, getting them to be vision oriented. Most people don't really have or don't have conversations around people that are talking vision. How long you been running this business for? Do you currently have an idea what kind of business you want to start? Are you looking to expand? So it's vision oriented questions. Then step 3 is like, what challenges? I always ask like, so what you got going on? Any current challenges, or what are you any challenges you're running into? Any challenges with growing the business? I ask this a lot because I like to market and help people get more clients, right? So I ask questions around the challenges that I help people with, and then the invitation, right? 15-minute call, connect call, whatever that is. The goal is not to sell the offer in the DMs. The goal is to sell it on a call. Okay. Now, when you guys get enough YouTube content out there or content out there, you just start sending people like your landing pages, your trainings, your YouTube videos. Like, before I even get on like longer calls, sometimes with certain people, I will let them watch, or before I hop on a 15-minute call, sometimes I'll be like, oh, are you free tomorrow? Hey, can you watch this 20-minute training, 30-minute training that I did on YouTube based on their challenges? I just had somebody that was like, how do I grow my Instagram? So you know what I did? I ended up just giving them my Instagram training. Y'all get that? So get that Instagram training. And then when they watch it, they have a lot more questions. They trust me more. And then I can get on a call that closes them. And before I do that, I book the next exposure, however that is. And then I drop them, obviously, more information before we even get on the call, and it preps them up. Okay. Simple DM messenger conversation. I use this so many times. I've used this for years. It works. You just kind of customize it based on your industry. So in business, you have to be great at communication. I'm just going to tell this to everyone here. If you ever want to get great at business, you have to be a great communicator, because really that's what it is. It's communicating things to somebody. And I think one of the main reasons why people don't buy is trust. Sometimes it's not that they don't trust you. Sometimes it's they don't trust that they can do it. Or maybe they don't trust that they can do it, or that they can do it because of you. So if I can communicate that I have the results, the solutions to help them, again, it's really a trust thing. And that's why I love the power of being able to share with people the ability to say, okay, here's a quick training, here's a free resource, here's something to help you out. Okay. But this is why I believe most people don't buy yet or don't buy today because of trust. Really, it all has to do with trust at the end of it all. Trust in themselves, trust in your product, trust in the service, trust in you. But if I can check every mark to know that they can do it, you could do it for me, it doesn't matter how much it is. It really doesn't. Somebody can be selling the same offer as you for 3K and you're selling it for 5K, but because they trust you more, they'd rather pay for more. Or they pay you because they trust you more, right? So trust. But why do clients buy? And this goes back to why I like building marketing assets and sales assets. Marketing assets are like free groups, your email list, right? Things that continue to put you at the front end, lead gen post. Sales assets are video sales letters. These are places where they go onto your page and then they get like a 19-minute training or a 15-minute free training. Application forms, things that get them to the next exposure. Sales assets is strictly to get them into a sales position, to sell them, to get them in a position where they're ready to be ready to buy. DM convos, which actually qualifies them and it leads them to your offers and your communities. So why do clients buy? Okay. 3 things: demonstration, proof, guarantees. The first thing that they look at is demonstration. Do they believe that you are competent of being able to deliver the service or product or offer the result? Okay. And then how much value are you giving them? Do you have free trainings teaching people how to do it? My YouTube, I have a lot of trainings based on what people need. So all I do is my YouTube video for 20, 30-minute trainings becomes a salesperson for me. I'm not even selling people on the phone anymore. I'm letting them go through my my training that teaches them, and it's selling them indirectly and directly. And I demonstrate through those trainings. So the first level of belief and trust is like, can you demonstrate that you're actually competent of doing it? Second is proof. People look at like, oh, okay, who did I do it for? And they'll look for testimonies. This is another thing. This is like the second layer of like why clients buy in the trust. And usually when people ask me like, oh, do you have any testimonies or people? Half the time, it's not even that you have testimonies. Half the time, they don't even believe in themselves. The other half, they legit want to know if you're legit and you've done this for other people. So do you have proof? And the third thing is the guarantees. Guarantees have come pretty hot in the last couple of years. So you'll see like the performance-based, the money-back guarantees or the refund guarantees, right? This is why I tell people about refunds that join or are interested in my stuff. I ask them that. I remember somebody asked me if like, oh, RC, do you have a refund policy? I said I do, but if you're asking me for a refund policy, you're not the right client. And I'm straight up with that. Why? Because it's like there's no point of working with me if you're already thinking about refunding from me, right? But if you're just getting started and you're like, hey, you know what? I don't have the results. I'm not as confident yet, but I believe if I can at least test this out, then I'd be willing to give it if I don't give my result. I know my stuff works. So I'm willing to say this up front. Do I have a money back guarantee? Sure, I do. But if you're asking me ahead, you might not be the right client. And I just got to be honest with people with that. Okay. So do you have any guarantees? Performance based, like, hey, performance based just means like pay me once you get the result. Okay. And it goes back to this whole ecosystem. This is a very simple ecosystem. What we're focusing on is the attention right now, the lead gen. So let's talk about that. I just did a lead gen post. This was the lead gen post that gave, I think we got over almost 20 plus people. There's a lot of people that just DM me and asked me for it, didn't even comment, right? I did a simple lead gen post. Lead gen posts are very simple. It's literally this. It's a hook, story, call to action. I made it simple. Hook, boom, I started this channel. Talked a little bit about my story in the center, and then I did a CTA. It's a very simple post. Okay, very, very simple. And I think people like this. I tested another one that's a lot longer. I just think some people just don't like to read it all. But something so simple and just like writing copy like this, where it's like, it's easy to go line by line by line and it doesn't feel overwhelming to the eye. A lot of people scroll if you got big chunky paragraphs. That's why when I teach a lot on copywriting and writing, I just make it simple. You'll just notice like simple one, how the brain works. Line after line after line. Okay. Good copy is getting good attention, getting you to read through it, right? Simple. And then a call to action to get them to make, to say something, ask me. And if you guys look at this post I did last week, you'll see all the people commenting and all the leads that we got through it. It's really, really cool. I'm still in a DM conversation. These are simple lead generation posts for stuff you offer. Okay. And what do I give? I give a free training, 22 minutes, that will sell them on why they should work with me. But it gives them so much value to the point where they can go and run with it. And it builds goodwill. But at the same time, I'm top of the mind, like, man, this was a great training. I wonder if he has more stuff. Guess what that is? It's a marketing asset. Okay. It's a marketing asset. Now, going down here, this is one of the conversations I had with somebody. This is just a DM example. So I messaged them, hey, God bless you, brother. Saw your post. Saw your post on my YouTube post. I should have said comment. And then I asked him a question. Do you currently have a YouTube channel now? They commented me. He goes, hey, I'm looking. We had conversations here and there. I'm just giving you guys like the simple chunks so it's quick. He's like, I'm looking for support for both business and ministry YouTube. Boom. Here's the training, very in-depth, practical. Now, since I sent them the training, I have a reason to reach back out to them in 2-3 days from now. Like, hey, did you get to check out the training, or even tomorrow? So it's not awkward me reaching out. Okay. It's not awkward. And it says this, and then he sees my stuff. He didn't watch the training yet, but he says this, would you be willing to help me build? I'm open to paying something and I can connect you with my funnel builder if you want. Like, he didn't even watch my training. He saw my results. I'm chatting with him, and now he's like asking to pay me. This is all literally this morning today. Okay. I didn't get to all my leads. I got to him today, hit him up, and this is literally a fresh conversation from today. And then this is what I ask people just because I want to make sure they're the right fit. What do you think you need help with? Maybe we can just hop on a 15-minute chat and can see if I'm the right fit. The reason why I'm doing the 15-minute chat is because I want to just go straight for it. They're already a hot lead. They're willing to pay me. Why not get on a call just to see if we're the right fit? And I looked at his stuff. He sent me his assets of his channels, and I believe I can help him. And I said, before we do on this call, before we do the 15-minute call, I'm just curious. And I always ask people this. What do you think I can help you with in this season of your life? I usually say this, based on everything you've seen so far, what do you think I can help you with in this season of your life? And they'll tell me exactly how they see I can help them. And that's my selling point. That's a golden question, y'all. That question I've asked so many people, and they tell me exactly how I can sell them on the call. They tell me exactly. They're like, well, I see that you do social media. I need help with my social media. Or I see that you're doing YouTube. I need help optimize my YouTube channel, and just some tips on there. So guess what I'm going to do? When I get on the call, I'm going to give him a lot of practical stuff on what he should do with his YouTube channel. I'll tell him exactly how I do it. I was like, hey, you can either implement this, I do this strategy, or you could do it with me. And let me just tell y'all, most people would say, can you do it for me? And he's already willing to pay me to do stuff. So you guys see how like this is very, very simple. On the calls, all I do is just tell them what I'm going to do for them if they pay me. And I tell them, you're either going to go do this, run that strategy, or we can work together and run the strategy and I'll do it for you. What would you choose? Right? Again, just another lead that came through. I just wanted to give you guys a DM example. And usually I just talk in the DMs like I'm texting somebody. I got a lot of DM messenger scripts. Yeah, we have a lot of scripts. If you guys need different scripts, we have so much in the program. This is another thing that I kind of built. This is a funnel. Okay. What does a funnel do? A funnel just takes somebody, gets attention from that person, and sends them, it funnel them into your offer, your product, your service. So it starts off here with social media on all these platforms. It goes to an email list newsletter, email text that eventually gets them into a landing page training that might get them into one of these application, to a DM conversation, to a book call. This is literally the goal. This whole ecosystem is to get there. They're either going to buy your offer, and if they don't buy your offer, you're going to have your 24/7 salesperson on YouTube train them, nurture them, and then it's going to go back to them seeing your stuff again, and they're going to go through the whole ecosystem until they finally buy from you. This is leverage. This is the power of like the ecosystem. What I've been telling people recently is like we build marketing systems for businesses. And this is it. This is the marketing system. Very, very simple. Every business is different based on the season they're in, based on what they sell. But this is everything. Every single one of us should get to this point of building this ecosystem. It might look like a lot, but I'm giving you guys big picture of where we're going or where you should be going. Okay. I really like this post. I do this post at least once or twice a year where, again, this is another lead gen post. My opener, my hook is big opportunity for content creators looking to monetize. I'm calling out my audience. Okay. I'm calling out my audience and I'm telling them what they're looking for. If you're a content creator that wants to monetize, read this post. And then I talk about my story. Check this out. 2017, I did this. 2020, I did this. 2021, I did this. 2022, I did this. 2023. So you guys see this? So you guys could take this exact model. Okay. And then again, drop this. I'm probably going to use this same exact copy for something I'm going to probably publish next week. And you guys can literally take this same framework. And this year I did this. 2020, I saw this. Whatever your journey is, just be authentic, be real, be you. And people love this stuff where it's like, okay, 2017, what did they do? 2020, right? And keep it simple, straight to the point. Straight to the point. Okay. And it got me so many leads. Every year I do this, it gets so many leads. It gets DM conversations because the goal is to get a lead. It's to generate a lead. A lead is someone that might be interested in what you have to offer. And then you go to what? Conversion conversations, where you start talking to them. You're not sending them to a random link and just ignoring them and hoping they're going to buy. Today, we are there's been people saying this, a trust recession, meaning people need to trust us before they buy. I'm sure everyone here trusted me in some capacity, or else you wouldn't have bought for my stuff. You just wouldn't. It wouldn't make sense. Okay. So on this doc, I'll give this to you guys here closing out. I'll make sure you guys get access to this doc. But I have so many different examples of lead gen posts that I've done to sell. Okay. Building you an automated funnel that will sell your digital products on autopilot. 2 more people. It's free details below. So I give you guys different types of lead gen posts that I've done. And usually my lead gen posts will land to a free training to educate them. A lot of people, they need to be educated. And that's what I put here in green. Okay. You see this green right here? People sometimes aren't buying because they need to be educated. So my trainings, the landing pages, they educate people. People go to a 19-minute training after they give me their email for a free gift, free training. I'm educating them during that training. My YouTube channel is educating them. I'll tell you this, my business YouTube channel, I don't care how many views I get. If I get 300 views on a 20-minute training and everyone got value from it, it is a person that is nurturing and educating somebody. Again, a YouTube video is a 24/7 salesperson. Okay. So the goal is to educate people. Educate. Anyone starting a shirt biz or having clothing line, I sold 1K a week with a launch on 7 days of promo, all organic. Case study coming. Let me know. So all I did was send people a 20-minute video on how I did this step by step. And at the end, there's a call to action to fill an application if they want to work with us as their distributor or whatnot. So I always have that. My point of my YouTube channel, I'm not going to say that I'm not trying to sell people. I am trying to sell people. There wouldn't be no point of creating that if I'm not trying to sell you. Right? Like that. So I already got out of my mind, like, dude, I have stuff to sell. Let me just show you guys real quick. This is the whole purpose of building this channel. And I like this channel because that's all I'm going to be putting on this channel is a ton of just how-tos, a ton of trainings. Do I have it here? Let's keep going. Yeah. Again, these are just all simple lead gen posts. I think I'm going to continue to stack this with all my lead gen posts. So I'm going to add the other lead gen posts on here. So this is just going to be an archive of all my lead gen posts that are getting people. And then you literally take what you sell and you plug it in. You just plug it in. This one I've gotten, I want to say I've gotten maybe 1,000 or 2,000 leads through this now. And I just post this on my Instagram story and on my Facebook story. Very, very simple. This just continues to work. I've tried so many different posts, but this always gets leads. It always gets leads. It always gets people to just reach out. Okay. Yeah, cool. And then this is a cool thing that I think is worth testing for some of us. I put this testing something. So I did a survey. Curious about those that follow your interest in biz. And then I can do this. I'm interested in starting. I'm currently running a digital biz and want to grow. I'm doing 10K a month with a digital biz. I'm an existing business owner, but need better systems. Of course, I'm going to ask that fourth question because I can build your marketing systems and I can help you organize your systems. So then what you do is as people are going through the survey, this is a solid lead gen post. Okay, on your story. I had so many people hit me up or go off this, right? There's this one person. So what you do is when you see somebody like this person, Tony P, okay, you can instantly message them. So then I messaged this one person. I said, hey, thanks for responding to the post. What existing biz do you have that needs better systems? So good. Such an easy and simple way to get into more conversations. I think surveys is fun and people are willing. Now, there was a good amount that said, hey, I'm sorry, brother. I accidentally tapped it. I didn't mean to. I don't have a business. So guess what I did? I'm like, oh, that's fine. Were you ever interested in starting a business? So it just starts conversations. It's a simple lead gen post. Okay. I think surveys are pretty solid. One thing I wanted to share, and then I'm going to go through one way on how you guys should organize these leads, and then I'll open up the floor for any questions. These are my 24/7 salespeople. And I think I'm going to go on another run with like doing like daily content or weekly content on here again. Look, I went from 2 months to posting like 2 weeks ago. So for 2 months, I haven't even done it. But what's interesting is like my channel was still growing because of like other pieces of content I was doing. But I'll always send people this one. So I'll send them this breakdown. It's a 20 to 30K month breakdown. How I was able to sustain that. This is a really cool salesperson. I just sent somebody my Instagram profile funnel training. Again, I did this 8 months ago and I'm still sending people this 8 months later. Like, talk about compounding time and just building trust into people. This is the one I sent a handful of people on starting a clothing line. And this, what it does, check this out. At the end of this, I do a call to action. Okay. I do a call to action right here, right here. I say, fill out the application on this below and any questions, call or email us. So obviously I do the interview. I give so much value in here. Anyone that wants to start a clothing line, I give everything in here, right? As far as like marketing it, fulfillment, I give everything. I give all the things to start off as a beginner, everything. Like I'm just all about giving stuff for free and let them run with it, right? I even gave right here how to process your orders, check out fulfillment, how to process it, fulfillment, third-party fulfillment places, and then I share how we can do better, the shirt brands you can use. So I just gave everything. And then I do this thing where I plant the seed and I say, we are partnering with brands to help fulfill. So, hey, instead of doing those, we do it faster, better, quicker, and we probably have your values. Boom. And if you're interested, right? CTA, fill that app and then check this out. Click this. Actually, it's funny. Alexis, she's actually part of she's part of the mastermind here. And she's like, great information, right? She did this and she's been a client for us and we've been fulfilling stuff for her for months now. So we built her Shopify, we built everything from the ground up, and now we fulfill all her stuff. And I'm sure this kind of sold her and gave her like the belief that she can do it and also the belief that I can help her do it. So all they do is they go to a landing page. This is a funnel. This is a landing page. They click. It's very simple. We're able to see if your brand is ready to partner with our fulfillment center. It's so simple, right? Nothing else, nothing crazy. Boom. And then they just fill out this GDoc form. And you could do this for any business. It doesn't matter what service you sell. And then this populates to the team. They get in the email and then they let me know. And then I look over the forms and then we'll see if they're a good fit. This is a funnel off of free training. Okay. You should have this for pretty much any of your offers. Focus on one offer at a time. All right. Last thing is I want to be able to share this last part. It'll be quick. I want to show you guys the CRM test example, how to organize your leads and how I do it. So we are here. Okay. If you guys have our software, if you don't, whatever software you guys use, whatever CRM, everyone here should. Most of you guys should. If you guys don't, just let me know. Reach out to me. But this is, I don't know if you guys know, but this is the opportunities tab. This is a legit CRM platform. It's like a Trello board or a Notion board, but it's all in here. And what's crazy is you can link a funnel when they get tagged and it can get generated right here right here. So whenever a lead comes, it gets generated here automatically. We can build that workflow for you. It's very simple. All in this platform. So if a lead comes in, they throw their email, you'll see the lead get populated here, and then you can get an email notification or a notification that they came through. And then you can reach out to them and it has all their information. So this is the opportunities tab, right? And what I do, let's say that I get a new lead and I want to manually do it because I just got on I hit opportunity, and then I'm going to click like a contact name. Let's say I do like, I don't know, Jalen's their name. Okay, I create this contact. If you have their email, their phone number, you can automatically put this, and then you can put them into any stage that you feel like you need to put them in. Then from there, after I create it, now you can look to see if you have an appointment on your calendar booked with them, and you can like set up a calendar. You got your task, your notes. So if you want to like write a task, this is so cool, y'all. This is so cool. It's saying this. Let's say I landed them as a client, build their funnel. And then I'm just going to put here, this is what I do with the team. Email opt-in, make sure they onboard, get all assets. Okay. And then I'll assign it to somebody on my team because you can share that. And then I'll just put the date of like when it needs to be done by. And then guess what we do? We add the task. And look how cool this is. It builds a task list for this one client, this one prospect. And then once the team gets it done, they're going to just check it. Boom. And then I look at their card and I'm like, oh man, thanks for doing it. Did we get to do this? And then we can do notes. They loved the onboarding, waiting on their response. And then I'm just going to put the date. However you guys want to do this, add the note. So cool, right? Now, let's say they're a client that we just closed. So this is Jalen. We closed them. And then I can put them onto another board, another pipeline of just all my client portfolio. So I have different pipelines here. We have a lot of different ones. So we have an active one that based on where they're at. We have so many that we're testing. I have my own CRM, and you could do multiple. This is just one account, one business, maybe 3 or 4. And let's say you got a lead coming in. Okay, I finally connected with them. So I connected with Jessica in the DMs, or I connected with them, or let's say I connected with them, and then now I'm just kind of going back and forth. Let's say I need a follow-up, or let's say, hey, I already had a conversation with them after the follow-up. But now I had or I have a conversation scheduled. However you guys want. This is kind of like my standard, how I do it. And then okay, I have a conversation. And then let's say I talked to them, or I sent them a DM, we've connected, they got everything. Then I'll be like, okay, I sent them the link to my funnel or to the checkout page. I'm just waiting for them. So I have like 5, 6 people right now actively from like the last 2 lead gen posts that I did. Then I'm just waiting for them to pay. So I put them here. So I'm literally following up with them every 2 to 3 days just to make sure that they paid. And once they paid, we put them in the close tab. Now there's people that are just, it might not be their season. So I'll just put them as like a floater, or I'll put them as like, I'm just like, okay, they're floating. Let me just like, if I ever look at this, or I'll just put them as like not interested. It's not the time. They've actually I put them as not interested when they said no. But what I do from this not interested list is 4 to 6 months later, I'll hit them up, say hi, say happy birthday, connect with them. Anyways, this is a great way how the funnels with the software can connect to like a simple CRM. And I think a lot of us, we need this. And if you don't need this, because you said, if you don't need this, I'll tell you why you don't need this. You don't have enough leads. Because all your leads are in your head. So I promise you, if you utilize this strategy of the lead gen masterclass and you're actually pumping out and producing leads and talking to X amount of people per day, per week, you're going to need this because you're not going to be able to keep everything in your head while you're growing and scaling the company, the biz, and the offer. Okay. Cool. Just want to share all this. So let's answer some questions. We got a quarter till the hour. Grant, the workflow can notify you with a list of who is due for follow-up of days in the future. You can, yeah. So if you want to create like certain automations or triggers or certain things where you want to create your own internal, I believe there's ways where you could do that. And what I'd probably do is I'd probably like set it up as like a reminder. And what's cool is like there's a conversations tab here where you link to your Instagram and all that. You can actually go to a conversation that they're linked to right here, which is super cool. If you guys can optimize this, man, because some people, they take like 30 minutes to an hour to just think about what to do. Let me just not think, go to my opportunities tab and just look at who's in the pipeline, what leads have been talked to, who I talked to yesterday, vice versa. And I just organize all my stuff. So mine is kind of like all around. Like I have these columns filled and full. So I'm trying to figure out my next step of like optimizing because there's a lot of people in the pipeline. Okay. Is it okay to leverage you as a testimony for someone that system has worked for? Yes, definitely. Why? Because we're partnered up, because we're in the same community. And you partner up with my agency and what we do. So yeah, you could definitely use it. My not interested idea for workflow is 4 SMS texts a year on each holiday, including your third birthday, just to stay. That's great. That's actually really, really good. Yeah, to keep up. And I'm pretty generous with like following up and talking to people. Like a ton of people I've talked to in January, I'm literally talking to all of them today. Like, hey, I know we spoke. It's almost halfway through the year. What's going on? And then what I do is, can I just tell y'all, I don't like when people go, how's it going? It's like, it's going good. And every time you follow up with them, it's like, how's it going? Knowing that they're going to ask you. So what I do is like, hey, I just want to follow up. Love their last conversation. I just saw your last post or your story about this. That's awesome. Are you still working on this today? Instead of just saying, how's it going? Man, anyone that says me, how's it going? I promise I will leave you on red. READ. Okay. And that's just me. Cause it's like, dude, I know the game. Dude, we're in business. Like, especially when you're talking to other business people, like we know the game. Like, how's it going? Like, it's just, that was so 2015, 2014, right? Like, oh yeah, we're excited, Instagram's popping. It's 2024, y'all. Like, how's it going is so general to, man. Okay, anyways, questions, comments, feedback, anything you guys want to go over. Let me give this to everyone.